And I was with the Federal Reserve when Katrina occurs. And I remember us having a Federal Reserve branch in New Orleans that was completely unimpacted by the flooding or the hurricane, but we were significantly impacted from an operational standpoint because the armored carriers that carry the currency to and from the Federal Reserve couldn't get in, and they aren't actually owned by the Federal Reserve, they're owned by the banks. So the flow of currency for the region was stopped. And there was no contingency plans. There was no way, if anybody just saw the videos of what immediately following Katrina, nothing was getting in and out. And you don't really think about that side of, that kind of the emergency response from a hurricane, right? It's always the immediate life safety and getting people to a safe place, and then food and shelter. But then when we're starting to lean towards the recovery of a region, you need to get the flow of money going. And I remember little old me is seeing all these wire transfers go back and forth into Western unions, and we're trying significantly to get money to any open store and ATM so people could actually get money. We didn't know that the American Red Cross was giving their disaster payments. They were sending these payments to the Western unions that were open. And because we had that we didn't know there was an MOU between the Red Cross and Western Union, because it's the Federal Reserve, you kind of like don't think about them like an emergency response. And so that ended up, that lack of knowledge, that lack of coordination ended up delaying payments for almost 5 days, because we at the Fed wanted to redirect them to other locations. And so that really got me thinking about how the most critical part of emergency management is truly what my first boss, Lou Canton, said. It's this whole coordination and getting everybody around the table to talk this through, which is really hard, Dan, as you know, in the middle of a crisis, when people are in need of help. But then always trying to look forward to helping the recovery side is really, really, really difficult. And during that time frame, I fell in love with New Orleans, and I applied to 12 different jobs with FEMA. I basically was going to beat them down until they hired me. And I was so on job 12, my 12th one that I interviewed for, the Deep Horizon oil spill occurs.